Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from the beautiful Carolinas. Today's topic is going to be when there are no more chances to give. Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share. So when there are no more chances to give to a certain person or certain people, this is a very pivotal part because you've done all you could do. And every time you would give those people or that person an opportunity or a chance to change, to improve, to be genuine, to be heartfelt, to be vulnerable, to explain themselves, or to just be present, they would take that chance and they would throw it away. And this is exactly one of the conundrums of dealing with toxic relationships. You see, what you were doing when you were in that relationship, or perhaps you still are, is you were giving so many chances to the person, and you were believing that they were who they claimed to be and that they could improve, or they would change, or they would work on themselves and elevate. Now you're figuring out that not only is everybody on the planet not who they appear to be, but that many people on the planet don't want to change. Many people are comfortable just the way they are, and many of those people are toxic. They are not people that have your best interest at heart. And when you were and or are giving those people more and more chances, one thing will happen for sure. You're either going to get burned over and over and over again because you keep giving opportunities or chances to somebody who doesn't keep their word or who doesn't have your best interest at heart, or you're going to figure out that that person is not only not who they claim to be, but that that person doesn't deserve to be in your life. And when there are no more chances to give, this is a very instrumental part of your life. Let's say that you met somebody who was toxic or someone who didn't have your best interest at heart. Maybe you fell in love with them, or maybe you relocated with them, or went into business with them. Who knows what happened, but when that person actually had you where they wanted you, that's when they began to change and to shift. And they were banking and counting on you, giving them more and more chances. So let's take a roommate as an example. Let's say that your current roommate or somebody in the past was somebody who said, yeah, we can room together and we'll split the rent and etc., things like this. Well, after month number one, maybe the rent wasn't being split properly. Maybe you were paying 60% and they were paying 40%. And then a couple months will go by and they claim that they didn't have any money, and could you just cover them that month, and etc. Well, what was that person doing? You could say that they hit hard times and they had some challenges earning money. I get it, that may be true. But if that becomes a pattern and that pattern is not changed, it is not improved, or it is not fixed, well, then now you're paying for two people's rent in an apartment and you don't need a roommate. Understand what I'm sharing with you. Eventually what happens, using that example, is that relationship, meaning that roommate relationship, it will dissolve one way or the other. Maybe you had to cut the lease. Maybe you had to remove yourself from the apartment, or maybe you asked them to leave. I don't know, but what I will share with you is if you're supporting somebody and it is not somebody that you know you're supporting for a period of time. Example, your children. Well, when you had children, you raised them properly and you paid for their tuition, their clothes and their vacations and everything. That's what you're supposed to do. When you bring life into this or on this planet, you're supposed to take care of it. You are supposed to nurture it. You're supposed to elevate it, to teach it, to grow, and to teach it right from wrong. I'm talking life. This goes from a puppy to a human being and anything in between, because what you should be doing is improving this planet, not taking away from it. But when you had a child, let's say, and when the child turned to be of legal age, maybe it was 18 in your jurisdiction, well, then no longer were you accountable for them. That didn't mean that you didn't still put a roof over their head or help them out here or there, but you knew when the child turned 18 that they were a young adult and that they would now be responsible for themselves. Flip it back to the roommate example. Well, the roommate told you that they had a stable job and they were going to do their part. They didn't. You see, they were trying to have you give them more and more chances. They were trying to have you pay their way through life for a period of time. And of course, what would the toxic person, the roommate in this case, do? They would blame it on you, and they would say that you didn't do enough, or that that wasn't the agreement, or that you agreed to pay 80% of the rent, etc. That's why all throughout the planet there is toxicity littered left, right, and center. You're now understanding that. And there are many people out there whose actions or lack thereof do not match their words. And these people are at the top of the food chain of toxicity. They're people who will play on your empathy. They will play on your vulnerability. They will play upon you giving to a fault and being perhaps even a people pleaser, etc. These people are predators. For this video, I'm not going to mention any specific type of person, but you can certainly read between the lines if you follow my words. Toxicity is littered all over the planet. Now that you understand what it is and how it affected you for a period of time, which probably was the length of one relationship, maybe even more, now you understand that you have to utilize and protect your newfound wisdom. You have to have boundaries. You have to really figure out who you want to allow into your life and who you won't allow. You will have to learn to say no, the strongest word in the English language. And when you say no to something or someone, you will say yes to yourself. Play that part of the video, play it a few times, because when you master the word no, it's a good thing. Again, I'm not suggesting to walk around, tell everybody no at every opportunity you get. I'm saying if somebody's trying to guilt you into doing things like paying for the rent or something, or having you drive 15 hours for a holiday or a Thanksgiving or a birthday, when in fact when you get there you're just not even talked to, you're being ignored or given the silent treatment, well, when that happens, you can say no, and you can still give them the best, you can still wish them well, but you're just not going to make that trip this year, or you're not going to pay that person's rent. When there are no more chances to give, this is when you finally take all of that energy, all of your empathy, all of your wisdom, all of the attributes that you possess, and you turn it back inward, you turn it back into yourself. And what I've talked about on the channel for over 4 years now is that is you. That is a beautiful, bright, shining light. That is exactly who you are. That's who you've always been. And the toxic person tried to take that from you. They try to steal it from you. They try to steal your energy. They try to steal your time. They try to steal everything about you, and they couldn't do it. The reason they couldn't do it is because you're still here on the channel and you're in the community, and you're understanding now that toxicity is everywhere. It's all over the planet. Again, I'm not a doom and gloom person, and I don't wish ill will upon anybody, and I won't begin today. What I'm suggesting is when you've been taken advantage of for years, maybe even decades, that it's time to really turn that empathy, that love, that kindness, that energy back inward into yourself. And when you do that, you will understand exactly how powerful not only you are, but that everything that you possess is, which includes, again, your time, your money, your love, your empathy, your commitment, your resilience, your diligence, your purpose. These are all the things that people wanted to take from you. They wanted to take as much from you as they possibly can. And what did they want to do? That's right, they wanted you to continue to give them chances over and over and over again. And this is what you were doing until you figured out how certain people are, until you finally saw the light, until you finally got the message and you wrapped your head around how people can so easily say one thing and mean something completely different. How other people can not have your best interest at heart. That yes, in fact, there are people out there that are envious and jealous of other people. And there are other people who set other people up. And there are other people that slither the way through life, and all they want to do is destroy relationships, destroy people's futures, their hopes, their dreams, their aspirations, and anything about them. When you finally get that and you really process how humanity works, then you see the world through a whole new different set of eyes. And the set of eyes you see them through are a set of eyes that have healed or who have figured out exactly how certain aspects of humanity work. Aspects of humanity don't work the way you were taught them, the way that you thought that they worked. They're working differently every single day as the changes on the planet continue to spin around, and we are changing faster and quicker more than ever now. Some of the things that we learned in our youth, they no longer apply. Example, here's one that I stand firm on, and if you don't agree, drop comments below, but something like this: what happens in the family stays in the family, or that's just them. They treat everybody that way. Or they're from that culture or that country. That's just how people speak there. You see, those are the old school mentalities. That what those three things were doing were giving people who were toxic a free pass to treat other people poorly or improperly. And those things need to be unraveled, because in this day and age, as fast as we are all changing, with not only the smartphones and AI, etc., but with the way the mindset is being shifted, the collective mindset of the planet, we now know that there is darkness and there is light. And you certainly are an abundant light being. You've been attacked, you've been targeted, you've been looked after, and you've been haunted by certain people who, for perhaps most of your life, or certainly recently, were trying to steal things from you. Again, I already shared what those things were: time, money, energy, effort, everything. But now you understand that these people are everywhere. It wasn't just one relationship. It was a lot of relationships that you were a part of, whether you were directly related to people, indirectly, or they were fringe people, or maybe you just went to an event once and you saw some toxicity and you realized, wow, I'm staying away from that person. This is what is called discernment. Discernment is something that you will acquire. Now you may say, what is discernment and why didn't I have it, or why didn't I use it before? I'll share this. Most likely you've always had discernment, but you didn't know how to use it because you were too trusting. You possibly were naive, maybe a people pleaser, had a high level of empathy and thought that everybody thought the way you thought. We now know that most of those things are things that certain people want to target. So example, if you are the beautiful, bright, shining light, and you are, well, what does the toxic person or toxic people want to do? They want to extinguish that light. They want to turn you to the dark side. They don't want you shining. They don't want you glowing. They don't want you finding your purpose, etc. So when you wrap your head around that, discernment comes into play when you finally heal and you slow your life down and you take a good hard look at those relationships that you were a part of, that perhaps you are a part of, or you will be in the future. And with discernment, this is a superpower because now you can identify and decide if you want certain people to be in your life or if you don't. And if you don't, you quietly remove them. You don't call people out. You don't say anything negative. You just choose not to participate in the activities that they were inviting you to or that you used to participate with them. That is wise. That's a good thing. That will allow your cup to get full. That will allow you to use your energy for yourself. That will allow you to recharge your battery. It will allow you to focus on yourself, and you won't feel guilty. You won't feel sorry. You won't feel bad for people, and you won't be like, wow, I shouldn't have blocked that person. What was I thinking? That was so difficult. No. In this day and age, you have to focus on you because why? Because you are the priority. You come first, second, and third. And the toxicity that you experienced throughout your life to this point, that was meant to disrupt your path, your purpose, your energy, your focus, and where you were going. And now that you actually understand that there are people out there that really want to create damage and drama and inflict as much disruption in other people's lives, and they get a thrill out of that, that's when you really use your discernment. That's when you understand that you have been targeted. No longer will you be targeted because you will become small. You'll have a small footprint. You will insulate and protect yourself. You will use your discernment. You will use your newfound superpower, and you will understand that where you are is where you're supposed to be. And if where you are is where you want to be, then that's fantastic. If where you are is not where you want to be, well, there's more work to be done. Keep in mind, life is dynamic. It's always shifting. It's always changing. Just like today's date, January 14th in the year 2025. Well, where were you a year ago? Think about it. Where were you 2 years ago? Where were you 5 years ago, etc.? That's an exercise that I utilize frequently to let me know and to share with myself and the community of how far I've come and how far you have come. So really wrap your head around what I'm sharing with you. When there are no more chances to give, it's when you've seen what you can't unsee what you've seen. You've seen way too much toxicity. You want to slow things down. You want to be safe and protected. You just want to put on that nice warm pair of sweatpants, a nice oversized sweatshirt. You want to get a blanket and a book. You want to unplug, get off social media, not watch movies, etc. And you just want to be. That is the abundance. That's the path. That's what certain toxic people didn't want you to be doing. You see, certain toxic people wanted you to be going around on that roller coaster of emotions, taking you super high and dropping you super low. They wanted you giving them more and more chances for their poor behavior. They wanted you thinking that they would improve and thinking that they actually cared about you. You now know that nothing ever changed with these people. It was the same song and dance, just in a different year. That's why once you get the wisdom, you need to apply the tools. That's why you have to say no, the strongest word in the English language. And that's when you really need to wrap your head around not only what toxicity is, but that you were targeted. And why I'm saying that 3 or 4 times now is because when you stop giving people chances to improve, to change, or to care, then you realize, wow, all of that energy that I was spending thinking about them paying the money back, thinking about when they were going to get out of my life, when I was going to get the divorce, was I going to get custody of the children, how could I get out of that business, when is the 401k going to be transferred over, etc. When you wrap your head around all those things that were stealing your energy, then you understand that all that energy goes back into you once you're removed from the toxicity of certain people. And when you are, that's where the abundance happens. That's where your beautiful, bright, shining light beams through the trees, beams through the air, and beams from the sky to you. That is a place of abundance. It's a place of opportunity. It's a place of possibility. It's a place of stillness, of calmness, of peace, and of quiet. That is not what the toxic people want. What they want is to disrupt that energy. Again, before I close the video, they did a very good job at disrupting your energy for a period of time. They can no longer do it because you're out of it. You're healing or you've healed. And now you realize that this not only is you, but it is one of the most valuable commodities you will ever have if you have it. That's why you are the beautiful, bright, shining light. That's why your energy returns and your health returns and your clarity and your mind returns when you remove yourself from the proximity of particular toxic people. Make the choice, make the decision, make the change. Do it now. Begin today, if not now, when? Because that light is shining. It is you. It's shining on you and it's shining for you. Don't ever, and I mean ever, let anybody steal that from you ever again. The path is to focus on yourself, to stop giving chances, to stop believing people will change, and to focus all that energy back into yourself. So everyone, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon, evening, or morning, no matter where you are on the planet. You are not alone. Remember that. You are not alone. I love you all. God bless you, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. I want to share this before I close it out, that this video is a specific one because I want to let you know that toxicity is everywhere. It doesn't have to use one label or one word. The whole point is once you see it, you can't unsee it, and you need to really stop giving people chances to change and to improve and to keep their word. People will let you down left, right, and center until they don't, and my hope is you're focusing on yourself now. I love you all. God bless you. I'm going to send you a virtual heart and a virtual hug. There it is. From the beautiful Carolinas, this is Andrew. Namaste. I will talk to you tomorrow. And bye, everybody. Bye. That's you. Remember it always. That's you.